We had a chance to sit down and talk to these very strong women whose sons were on the front lines as journalists in Syria covering the story. Both sons were taken captive back in 2012. Now, we don't know the fate of one of the young men, but the other came to a horrific end at the hands of ISIL terrorists. Now, both women believe it is time the United States does a lot more in its effort to free Western captives. It is a parent's unspeakable pain.
I'm compelled to speak out because I don't want Jim to have died in vain.
Jim is James Foley, a U.S. freelance journalist captured in Syria in 2012, then brutally killed by ISIL in August of last year, once the United States launched its air campaign to uproot ISIL. Diane Foley is making it her mission in life to make the U.S. government more accountable when Americans are held captive.
As Americans, we can do much better than was done for our son. He was tortured and beaten for 20 months, and our FBI knew where he was 6 months after he was captured.
But she says there was no coordinated effort, no significant help from entities within the U.S. government. Foley appeared at the museum in Washington with Deborah Tice to discuss the dangers journalists face on the front lines. This is the only image seen of her son, Austin Tice, since he was captured in Syria in August of 2012. He's the oldest of 7 children in a tight-knit family.
We miss him. He's a big guy, big personality. You know, he occupies a lot of space when he's around, big laugh.
And now, a big void. Unlike so many other captives, the U.S. believes Tice is not being held by ISIL. ISIL apparently holds more than 24 journalists and aid workers captive, using them as bargaining chips. But the world was horrified this week at what happened to a Jordanian fighter pilot captured by ISIL after his F-16 went down in northern Syria.
I find that shocking.
It was, I was shocked.
We have a coalition to attack, and we do not have a coalition to rescue.
Was shocking to me. It was shocking.
How can that be?
It's very terrifying. And I really think there's a lot that can be done. I think governments and groups of allies need to do some soul searching and really make sure they really clarify what they're going to do and what they cannot do.
At the top of the to-do list is more international collaboration. While in Washington, Foley and Tice met with the U.S. hostage review team. Both came away impressed, saying it appears there is a desire to listen and learn and make solid recommendations to the president. Michael?